Hare Krishna, welcome to another session of Bhagavad Gita reading. So today we'll be starting with the seventh sloka of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the contents of the Gita summarized. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sa Advaitam Savadudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamshcha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनत नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we are now reading from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So the second chapter is the contents of the Gita summarized. So whatever Krishna is going to speak in throughout the Bhagavad Gita, everything is summarized in the second chapter. So we'll be seeing that. So we are in the seventh sloka. So yesterday we were saying how Arjuna is perplexed and finally agrees to Krishna. Yes, I am confused. And he opens up saying that this is why I don't want to fight. Until then, he was giving different kinds of explanations and excuses. And it's not excuses, he was trying to defend himself with various quotations from the Shastras itself, saying why he doesn't want to fight. But then when Krishna just shook him, saying that how has all those impurities come upon you, he then comes back to senses and he says that yes, Krishna, I'm going to be open with you. Yes, I don't want to fight because how can I fight with my grandparent, my grandfather, and my teacher who are worthy of my respect, even though they are materially inclined at this point of time. So then finally he says that better than conquering them, it's that I be conquered by them. So he goes to that extent. But even if a kshatriya doesn't fight with those opponents who doesn't have a weapon or who has surrendered, so that is not the kshatriya mentality. So then he says that even if I'm without weapons, it is better that they kill me. So he is going to that extreme point. Better for me it is not to fight with them, instead I get killed by them. So so now finally, after all this frustration, Arjuna is finally he's because he is a devotee, he is very gentle, and at the same time he also wants to do the right thing. So then he shows it's not that I am making this decision out of my attachment or anything. Yes, he is attached, there is attachment, but then he says that I have considered all the points. So we see that he has considered different points. What will happen if he doesn't fight? What will happen if he fights? If he fights, what will happen if he wins the war, or what will happen if he loses the war? So all the possible options he have considered, and what are the results and consequences of each and every option. And then he says that I am making this decision. But Arjuna says that even though I am making this decision of not to fight, I still want to know whether I am doing the right thing. I want to know, I mean, is this the right thing to do? What do you think, Krishna? And he actually surrenders to Krishna. Krishna, even though I know all the options and I know the consequences of all these options, but still I am frustrated. Why am I frustrated when I know these are the options and these are the consequences of each and the options that I might have to choose? So then, then he finally surrenders to Krishna, saying that what am I supposed to do? So that is what we are going to see in the seventh sloka. Karpanyadoshopahat swabhavah pritchami tvam dharma samudacheta Yet Shreyasyanishchitam bruhi tanme Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam. So there was a current failure, so I don't know whether the sloka came into the video. Okay. So we'll read the sloka once again, the seventh sloka of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So this shows that Arjuna is a soul who wants to progress in life. So only for such people this knowledge is the knowledge makes sense. So here we see that Arjuna, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. So he's asking, what is the best thing that I should do, what is the right thing that I should do. So, and he's not asking to any ordinary person, he's asking to the Supreme Lord himself. So let's see the purport. By nature's own way, the complete system of material activities is a source of perplexity for everyone. So the material world is created in such a way that we all get perplexed. So it is to make us perplexed, this material world is there. In every step, there is perplexity. And therefore, it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. So when we are all perplexed, we don't know what am I supposed to do? Why am I in this situation? What is happening around me? So this is the question of existence itself is there. So then, so that is why this entire material world is created in such a way that so that we approach the right person to understand what am I supposed to do. So it will push us to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. What am I supposed to do? Yes. So that answer will be given by the spiritual master. So all the situations in our life is pushing us towards taking shelter of our spiritual master. All Vedic literatures advise us to approach. So it is not just anyone who's saying this. Lord Krishna, through the Vedas, he's saying all Vedic literatures advise us to approach a bona fide spiritual master to get free from the perplexity of life which happen without our desire. So we don't want that, but it definitely comes. So what is the solution? The Shastra says you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master. So a guru is very, very, very important in everyone's life. So it is not that you can accept any Tom, Dick, and Harry as your guru, but then a person who is who we will see to that in the fourth chapter, who is a bona fide guru. So we have to take shelter of a guru because only he is the one who can guide us. Because that is why guru was very or is very very important in the life of each and every person in our Vedic culture. Not just Vedic culture, you take any aspect, any part of our life, there a teacher is necessary. We might say I can read it from Google or I can do whatever it is, or I can learn. You can learn, but then when it comes to real life situation or how to handle it, it like we need someone to guide. Even I have, there is one point, like when I was doing my engineering, I was trying to read the content which my teacher was supposed to give the next class, but then I was reading it early at home because I was just going through it. I thought, let me just read it," and I went on reading, and there was this one sentence which I felt it was important, but I did not understand. So I read it like 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and still it was like I feel it is important, but then why am I not able to understand? I read it 5 times, 6 times, then I read the paragraph connected to it, before it, after it, but still I'm not able to make out that sentence. What does it actually mean? I just left it. The next day, ma'am was giving the session, and then she read exactly the same sentence, not even a single word, because I read it 5, 6. 10 times, I knew each and every word of that sentence. And when she said it, I understood she's saying the exact same words. She did not change anything. She just said the sentence. But then when she said it, it made a lot of sense. It's like a bulb glowed finally. So that is the one. What that line means. So it's like a big realization. So we might read something again and again and again, but then only when we hear it, it like a big bulb is glowing. So it appears like that. So though we can get all the knowledge, but the realization has to come when we have to hear from our guru, from the realized person. That hearing somehow it glows that bulb inside us. So it is necessary to have a spiritual master for guiding in our spiritual and material life. At the same time, we need teachers in every aspect of our life. So there are they are like a four okay, the perplexities which happen without our desire. The perplexities, they are like a forest fire that somehow blazes without being sent by anyone. We don't want all this, but then it comes. There is no way we can stop it. Similarly, the world situation is such that perplexities of life automatically appear without our wanting such confusion. We don't want any of these. We don't want confusions. We don't want distress. We don't want unhappiness. We don't want perplexities. Nothing. But then it comes. What can we do? That is how the world is created. If I say that this is a house of glass, if I go inside, naturally there will be glasses or mirrors, house of mirrors or something that we say. Or if I say this is a library, so when I go inside the library, what do you find in the library? Library has books. So I cannot say that, oh, this place is full of books. Hey, you entered a library. Library means it is full of books. So we cannot sit and cry there, oh, this place is full of books, there is nothing else to do, because that is a place of only books. So similarly, this world is a place of perplexities. You come here, we are trying to find something else, but hey, this place is full of perplexity. The place is for perplexities, and you come here and you're crying for that. So that is how it is. Similarly, the world situation such that the perplexities of life automatically appear without our wanting such confusions. No one wants fire, yet it takes place, and we become perplexed. The Vedic wisdom therefore advises that in order to solve the perplexities of life and to understand the science of the solution, one must approach a spiritual master who is in the disciplic succession. So, not just any spiritual master, he himself should have been a disciple, and he himself should have a guru. It's not just I become guru for everyone, but I don't have any guru. I will not take guidance from everyone. I will not take guidance from anyone, but I will give guidance to everyone. So that is not how it works. So it says that a great teacher is one who has been a great student. Only if he has been a student, proper student, or a very nice disciple, he can become a nice teacher also. So first thing is we have to first become a student, and then we think of becoming a teacher. But everyone wants to become just teachers and give advice and everything, but they themselves don't want to take any advice. So here it says a bona fide spiritual master is a one. uh, where is that? Yeah, one must approach a spiritual master who is in the disciplic succession. So he himself should have been a disciple of someone else. He himself should have taken orders from his guru. He himself should have followed the instruction of his guru. Only then he himself can become a guru and give instructions to others. So it is very important. A person with a bona fide spiritual master is supposed to know everything. One should not, therefore, remain in material perplexities, but should approach a bona fide spiritual master. This is the purport of this verse. So it is not that, oh, I am in perplexity, my life is like this, what is the point in living? Let it be like this. That is not how it has to be. So when we face perplexities, we have to find solution. We should be solution oriented. We have to find solution. So we have to take guidance from our spiritual master. So all these things are pushing us to become freed from the problems. All these problems are pushing us to become free from the problems. So you understand the way, right? How the world works. So we have to find solutions in such a way that I can come out of the problem. It's not that getting depressed and sitting inside the problem itself. So who is a man in material perplexity? So whom do you call a who's the one who is in material perplexity? It is he who does not understand the problems of life. In the Brihat Aranya Upanishad 3.8.10, the perplexed man is described as follows. So we have definition for everything. Yova etat aksharam gragya aviditva aviditva smal lokat praiti sa kripanaha. He is a miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human and who thus quits this world like the cats and the dogs without understanding the science of self realization. So a miserly person is not based on his money or education or wealth or family or fame or anything. It is a person who led a human life without knowing what is the purpose of human life. That it is like it is it is waste of life. It's like you are given a you are given a Kohinoor diamond with you, and you live the entire life keeping the Kohinoor diamond inside your cupboard and living in poverty. It's like you have been a poor person throughout your life, but you had a Kohinoor diamond inside your what to say inside your cupboard or inside your locker, but you never knew. Why did you use it? Because you never knew the value of that diamond which you had. You thought it's just a stone and you kept it inside the cupboard, and you lived a life full of poverty. And this is how we are leading our human life. This human life we have got is very very special. It is used for it is for some higher purpose, but then we live the entire life like cats and dogs, getting a human body but living like cats and dogs, and even dying like a cat and a dog without knowing the value of the human life that we have. So this is such a man. That person is called a miserly person. This human form of life is a most valuable asset for the living entity who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. Instead of solving the problems, we create more and more problems, get entangled in it, and make our next life also very difficult. Therefore, one who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. So whenever we don't do things, just think of this example. You have a diamond, I'm not using the diamond, I'm living in poverty. This is our situation. On the other hand, there is a Brahmana or he who is intelligent enough to utilize his body to solve all the problems of life. So, being a Brahmana or Kshatriya is not based on the body or the birth, but it is based on your intelligence. How intelligent are you to use what you have for the right purpose? So, a Brahmana, if he gets a diamond, he will use it. Yeah, this is what this is the purpose of this diamond. So, this is the purpose of this human life. He will use it for the right purpose. Ya etat aksharam gragi vidit swasmal lokat praiti sa brahmanaha. The Kripanas or miserly persons waste their time in being overly affectionate for families, society, country, etc., and the material consumption of life. It is not that you should not be affectionate, but overly affectionate beyond a limit. And why is that limit there? Because we forget the purpose of our life and get more entangled on all these complexities. So, and that too in a material conception. One is often attached to family life, mainly to wife, children, and other members on the basis of skin disease. It's an external attachment. Like we saw the last time, Chitraketu Maharaj, son is asking, okay, because this body is born from you, you called me the son. Were you there with me in the last life? Will you be there with me in the next life? Chitraketu Maharaj was not able to answer. Similarly, you are you are the husband or a son or a father in this life for these people. Will you be there for them always? Can you be there for them always? Even in this life, will you be there for them always throughout all their ups and downs? Can you guarantee them that? We cannot do that. So we have to accept the reality of life too. The Kripana thinks that he is able to protect his family members from death, or the Kripana thinks that this his family or society can save him from the verge of death. Such family attachment can be found even in the lower animals who take care of children also. So even animals do that. Being intelligent. So what is the difference between an animal and a human being? If he is doing the same thing as an animal, he should have some higher intelligence, right? So, being intelligent, Arjuna could understand that his affection for family members and his wish to protect them from death were the causes of his perplexity. So, he understands this. He understands. So, an intelligent person is one who understands why he is perplexed, but he is not able to come out of it, for which he needs help. But still, at least he understands, yeah, this is the reason for my perplexity. I know that my parents, anyway, they all have to die at one point, but then I am getting perplexed because of my attachment. So we pray that please remove these attachments, not the people in life or anything. It is that the subtle connection, the attachment, the unnecessary attachment connecting me towards them, so that I can see things clearly and I can do my duty even more properly without attachment and nicely. When we are not attached, we do our duty even more better. When I'm not so attached to my wife, I do my duty correctly. Even like she gets angry, she gets shouts at me, she scolds at me, whatever it is. But if I'm attached to her, what happens? Those scoldings and everything will affect me. Then what happens? I am doing so much for her, still she doesn't have any affection. She does all these things, and she is criticizing me, all we have all this things, and then we think, why should I do it for her? Yeah, we finally come to that conclusion. But when I'm not attached, when I'm not affected by all the scoldings, I what how will I do? See, she is doing all these things because of her, because of whatever mental or whatever things that she is going through. She is shouting. But what is my duty here? My duty as an husband is to do whatever I am supposed to do. So even if she does all those things, I will not deviate from my duty. You see how getting detached will help us do our duty more properly. Even if that is why people get divorced, because when the problem comes they get divorced. Why? Because they see it is more of attachment. But when there is no attachment, even if problem comes, they know what their duty is. My duty as an husband is to do it. I will not get divorced just because someone shouts or someone does something or there are problems coming up in life. That should not deviate you from your duty. So being detached will help you do your duty even more properly as a husband or a wife or a child, or whatever responsibility or roles you hold. So here, Arjuna understood that all these perplexities that he is going through is only because of his attachment. So, although he could understand that his duty to fight was awaiting him, still on account of miserly weakness, he could not discharge the duties. He is therefore asking Krishna, Lord Krishna, the supreme spiritual master, to make a definite solution. He's asking, what should I do? This is what we should all do. I want solution, Krishna. Please help me. Please help me find the answer. He offers himself to Krishna as a disciple. He wants to stop friendly talks. Talks between the master and the disciple are serious, and now Arjuna wants to talk very seriously before the recognized spiritual master. So, this is not the time for fun. I want answers. I want solutions. Please. See, this is what we all go through. When we go through problems, we want solutions. Why am I going through all this? I want answers. I want solutions. A person who is very keen on that, what will happen? He will progress. Whereas, oh, there are so many problems. What will I do? Life is like this. These are very, very negative people, or people who don't want to progress in life. So our attitude should not be that. We should be fighters. We don't easily give up. My grandmother always say it's really funny when sometimes when we make dosa, what happens is that it gets stuck to the, if I mean old, we didn't have non-stick pans or anything in the earlier days, so they had iron pans. So sometimes it gets stuck to the pan. So my grandmother, when she's making dosa, sometimes it gets stuck, and she'll sing that song. Like, I'll try to do it, but then it doesn't come out. Then she will take that the spatula from me, and then she'll start doing, and she'll start singing. Like, what is she singing? She'll say, yeah, it's in Malayalam, so she sings like Totitilla, Totitilla, Tota Charitram Ketitilla. It's like some, like during freedom struggle or something, they used to have the slogans to encourage people. So I like this is really nice. It means that I have not surrendered. I mean, it's not. And that means I have not given up. I have not given up. And there is no question of giving up. I will always fight. This is like they used to hear it, like she was there during the freedom struggle and all those things. So she used to hear all the slogans. So she was using it here in trying to flip the dosa from the pan. But then these slow sometimes these help us. So we should be fighters in our life. In spiritual life, like we are spiritual warriors. We have to fight this material world. So we should never give up. That is the beauty of it. Being a soldier is like a very very beautiful thing, and being a soldier for Krishna, like trying to get out of this world. So it's really beautiful. So Arjuna, he's asking, just come on, stop all this nonsense. I want to speak seriously. I want to know what is that I'm going through. I know I'm going through perplexities. I don't want to be like this. I want to find solution. I want answers for my questions. So then he is serious now. So then Krishna, therefore, so he's asking Krishna, uh, who is the supreme spiritual master. Krishna is therefore the original spiritual master of the science of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is the first disciple for understanding the Gita. How Arjuna understands the Bhagavad Gita is stated in the Gita itself. This is very important. It's not that, oh, I want answers, I will read Bhagavad Gita. We should have the qualification as Arjuna had. So this is very important. It's not that you have a teacher and a student. Okay, fine. Now knowledge can be shared. No, the teacher should have the teacher's qualification. The student should also have student's qualification. What is that? So as students, we should be like Arjuna. So what is that qualification? How Arjuna understands the Bhagavad Gita is stated in the Gita itself. And yet, foolish, mundane scholars explain that one need not submit to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn within Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna within and without. And one who has no sense of this understanding is the greatest fool in trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Now, this is very, very deep subject. Um, it goes to impersonalism, personalism, and all those different aspects of spirituality. But then I'll try to explain in short. So here, how Krishna, how Arjuna understands Bhagavad Gita is, first of all, we have to surrender to Krishna. And surrender to which Krishna? Surrender to Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead. We have to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, as Bhagavan. Not just, there are people who say that Krishna is just a person, a very powerful human being, that's certain, who existed a long time back. No, he is not a human being. He is the supreme personality of Godhead from which all the creations came. Even we all came from him. How can he be any ordinary human being? Can we do what he is doing? We definitely cannot do that. So he is not any human being, but he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is the first understanding. At least theoretically, we have to accept this fact. So, and then here it says, there are mundane scholars who explain that one need not submit to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn within him. So they say that Krishna doesn't have a form. He is a nirakar, all those things, and you don't have to submit to the Krishna with a who's having the blackish blue body complexion with a peacock feather on his head and the flute and a pitambara dhari. So we don't have to bow down to that Krishna, but to the unborn Krishna. Now, what does this mean? Does it mean Krishna doesn't have a form? So here it says there is no difference between Krishna within and without. So, which means that it is not that Krishna doesn't have a form. Krishna has a form. He is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. Vigraha. He has a form. He has a Vigraha. He has a form. Like we all have a form. Krishna also has a form, but that is spiritual form. Now, what happens is it is from the form energy comes. It is not from energy form comes. You have a light bulb, and the light bulb is throwing out light. Light is a form of energy. But what is the source of that light energy? It is a bulb. Without the source, which has a form, energy is not produced. Like for us, if we take, they say that human beings, we all have, every living being has an aura around us. Like it's an energy, it's an invisible energy with around us, right? Where is this energy coming from? It is coming from us, isn't it? If a person with a body is not there, where is this aura going to come from? right? So we all have a form, and it is from the form that the energy comes. It is not from energy form comes. If you have energy, there is a lot of energy here around me. There are some kind of energy. Can I make a form out of it? No. It is from the form that energy comes. It is not from energy the form comes. So what happens at the same thing? It is from the sun you get sun solar energy. Solar energy is there, but just you have energy. Now you have solar energy in this earth also because it is coming from the sun. Can you make a sun here? The source of the energy is a form, that is the sun globe. It has to come from a form. The energy has to come from a form. So similarly, the Nirakara Brahman is the universal energy. It is in that energy the entire cosmic creation is sustaining. See how powerful that energy itself is. If that energy itself is so powerful, like the sunlight is so powerful that it can nourish all the living entities on this earth or throughout the universe. If that energy itself is so powerful, imagine what will be the sun globe like. How powerful would be the person or the globe, the sun globe would be, if its energy itself is so powerful to nourish everything. So similarly, if Krishna's energy is so powerful, which can nourish the entire cosmic creation, how powerful would Krishna with the form? Who is the source from which the energy comes? So this Nirakara Brahman, or the energy of the energy, is nothing but the aura of Krishna. It is the energy coming from Krishna. So Krishna, a person with the form, is there from whom this energy is coming. So energy does not exist without the person, and if the person is there, definitely energy is there. You cannot say only the person is there, energy is not true. No, if the person is there, definitely energy is there. Energy shows that the person exists, isn't it? So you cannot separate both are there. So it is not that only the energy is there, Krishna without a Krishna who's having a form is not there. No, that is not right. Because it is from Krishna with the form, Satchidananda Vigraha, it is from him this energy, the Brahman comes. And so we have to accept both together. So here it says there is no difference between Krishna within and without. So people say that you don't have to worship the Lord without a form. I mean, you have to worship the Lord without a form, not the one who is having a form. No, it is not right. Then why are there all these temples with the form of the Lord? So it is very, very important to understand it is the form from which the energy comes. And one who has no sense of this understanding is the greatest fool and is trying to understand, who is trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. So we have to accept that Krishna is actually the supreme personality of Godhead who is the sustainer of everything. He is the source of the Nirakara Brahma, from whom this Nirakara Brahman comes. Nirakar Brahman is nothing but the universal energy, right? So the Brahman, the supreme, the energy of the Supreme Lord Krishna is there. So it is unwise or it is foolish to say that Krishna is just something, but then we have to worship the Nirakar Brahman. No, he is the source of everything. So we have to so it is to him that we have to surrender. It is to the person Krishna that we all have to surrender. So with this, we'll try to wind up here because this was a very important sloka, so it took time. So I hope the next slokas we can finish. The second chapter is very important, so it might take time, but then we'll go according to as it takes us, as Krishna takes us. So with this, we'll wind up. So see you all soon tomorrow. And Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, निताय गौर सिदानंद प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।